Hello, welcome to Show and Telling. Monty and Mel here with you, and
Hi.
Joel Creasey.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We are
So
filming
exciting.
this as well for our social media, and Mel just did a big clap. Look at you, look at yourself.
Yeah, sorry.
That camera there.
Yeah.
But you were saying that the clap is chlamydia.
I think it's chlamydia. It's one of those. It's such an old hacky joke for comedians to have a joke about the clap or give me the clap or thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
What's gonorrhea?
I don't
Is
know.
that the one koalas get? Or is that
No,
chlamydia?
no, koalas get chlamydia.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always tell
Gee
tourists
whiz.
that.
Yeah.
So predictable. I do all those predictable dad jokes. I'm also do the whole like, be careful of drop bears, and then I hear myself and I go, oh, I have no right calling myself a comedian.
Oh my God.
What's a drop bear?
A drop bear.
koala.
Oh my gosh, you've got to be careful. Oh, see, I'm doing it again. Have you never heard of a drop bear?
Never.
The whole joke, you know what a drop bear is,
Yeah.
right?
Do
a
you?
Joke. I think it started in Australia where you trick tourists into thinking that we have these bears that drop from trees and attack you. What a drop bear.
See, I thought that we would say they're like koalas are drop bears and they would drop out. They just drop out of the tree.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe they are koalas.
It could be a combination.
What, you made out like that was a bit controversial.
No, I was just saying, I just do some really predictable daggy jokes.
It's all right. People love it.
Another really daggy joke I do.
Yes.
This is so lame, and my
Yeah.
boyfriend hates it. Every time we get oysters, every time I go,
Oh,
you're going to be a bit
Aphrodite.
horny after this. Every time. And he never laughs, and he always just rolls his eyes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oysters is a really mature palate thing to
I
order.
don't like them.
I don't
I
either.
like them because when the waiter suggests them, you know, when the waiter goes, how about some oysters to start your meal? It sounds so nice. And I go,
Yeah.
yum. And then I'm like, oh.
Kilpatrick is good.
Yes.
Kilpatrick's all right.
I don't mind Kilpatrick.
The other
with like,
ones
with like
are
a
snot.
champagne vinaigrette. I can do that. But when it's
Yum.
raw,
Yuck.
Yeah.
Yuck.
It's like
yuck.
snot.
I don't think I've done an oyster when I was about 10 and I just can't go there again. They're just too
No.
fishy and foul and they cost a bomb. They
Yeah.
always tell you where they're from. Oh, these ones are from the Murray-Darling River.
yeah, they've got a buttery taste. No, they do not. They come from the ocean. There's no butter on the ocean floor. There's no Lurpak down there.
Joel,
I'm
we...
so posh. My reference to butter is Lurpak. Sorry.
Lurpak going home.
Lurpak is fancy butter.
I know, yeah.
I
Hey, you
remem-
know what's the best? Kerrygold.
What's
Oh.
Have
that?
you tried Kerrygold? You can get it at Woolies and stuff. It's in a gold package, but it's really salty.
Oh,
have
yum. Yes, I
salt.
do know it.
Beautiful.
I love that. And I also love the Pepe Saya one. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, that's
What's a
too
Pepe
fancy.
Saya?
It's
Butter chat.
it's what they serve in Qantas business class. And they come packaged. And I sometimes I ask the flight attendants for a couple of extra ones and I put them in my bag and take them home. It's such yummy butter.
Oh, no.
Do you always travel business or first?
No.
That's bullshit.
I use my points to upgrade because I fly a lot. I never do it. Like I fly Melbourne to Sydney all the time. Never. Always at the back of the plane. But I save all my points from doing that travel and use it if I'm going to Perth or overseas.
I have never, ever.
You've done business, haven't you?
No, once I did business when I was flying I got a red eye from Perth
Yeah.
to Melbourne. This is when I was doing the drive show on Nova like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Oh my
That's the
gosh.
only time. This is one of the things that, I mean, it's so much more expensive to fly.
It's
first.
crazy
No.
expensive.
And people are like, oh, I couldn't do it any other way. I'm like, unless you know,
Yeah.
actually, it's fine. It still gets me to wherever I want to be. Like, yeah, I fucking stink and I'm shoved in like a sardine.
Yeah.
But I don't know any different, and I don't know if I want to know the difference.
No, you can't know the
You
difference.
can't know the difference. But you can. I do it all points. I love planes. I also connect. This is another confession that I don't tell many
Right.
people. I also collect model airplanes.
Do you?
Yeah, I love airplanes. I love trains, planes, and boats. I'm a real boy when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Wow.
And so I read all plane blogs and I'm all good at my points and my frequent flyer programs. I'm a real nerd. Frequent flyer programs and butter. They're my two specialty topics.
Model aeroplanes.
Model
Oh,
airplanes.
no.
I know. It's going so well, wasn't it?
You're just getting a dog that's arriving.
I know. I'm
a
so
chow.
excited. Yes, a chow.
Is that like what Chelsea Handler has?
Yes.
Yes.
It's purple tongue.
Purple tongues. They're so
Yes.
cute.
They are cute.
They've got little purple tongues. They're little like lions. They're little lion dogs.
Don't you worry about the shit sticking to the fur?
Oh my
God, have
God.
you thought of that?
Yes, I did think about that and had sort of put it to back of mind, but now it's right up the front.
I know.
Yeah, I do worry about that.
Maybe you can just shave its ring hole.
Yeah,
around its
maybe I
ring hole,
could, yeah.
Like a, and
And when you say I could shave, Jack, my boyfriend, could do it.
Hey, your boyfriend is a fine,
He is.
fine man.
He is. And it's also perfectly fine for people to say that because it's what he does for a living. So I'm
Is he a
yeah.
model?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is he
yeah.
really?
How's that? Imagine
Do you
being a
feel-
model.
Do you
I know.
feel like insecure being with a model?
Yes.
Do you really?
Yes.
You're gorgeous too. Can I tell you something? I said to Monty, we spoke on the phone this morning, and I said to her, "You are my mum's favourite person."
Oh,
Can
thank you.
Can I tell
What's
you?
your mum's name?
Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Oh my God, she will be dying right now. She'll be sliding right off her chair.
Wait till she meets Jack.
So does Jack have a great personality though, or just hot?
He does. He has a really great personality. Also, when I see a model, people think now in this day and age, when you say model, he's just like an Instagram influencer.
Yeah.
He's actually Instagram's very quiet. He's just out there. He's every day out shooting different campaigns and yeah.
This is my other thing too. Is I'm like, if I was a lesbian and I was with someone that was really hot, I would feel like I would compare myself to.
Oh,
them
I compare
all the
myself to
time.
him
Yeah.
constantly.
Do you really?
Yes.
Because I just feel that would be human nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
To
would.
go, like sometimes when I see a hot lesbian couple, I'm like, how do you, like, I was like Miley and Caitlyn,
Oh.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
what was her name?
Oh, what is her
Brody
name?
Jenner's
ex.
or
Yes,
something.
yeah.
And I was like, they're both so equally hot, but I wonder if they're like, oh, your tits are a bit nicer than mine
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I wonder
Well,
if
because he's
you-
so hot every day, I just sort of get used to it. Because there's no day, you know, there's days where like with exes, I've gone, oh my God, you look so hot today.
Yes.
I never have that with Jack because he looks amazing every day.
It's like
so
a beautiful
You're just
view.
used to it.
You
Yeah.
get complacent almost, don't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, speaking of Chelsea Handler, so the other night when I was on the project, she came on.
Yes.
And she was actually so lovely. I was really nervous to meet her. Have you met her before?
I toured with her last time she was in Australia. I was a support
Wow.
act. Yeah.
And did you get along well with her?
We got along perfectly fine. She was just there to do a job, so she would come down.
Yes.
She was really sweet when I'd see her, but she'd sort of keep to herself, which is I totally get because that's how I operate when I'm doing gigs as well. I like to stay in my dressing room, hang out on my own or with my team, come down, do the job, and leave. And that's exactly what Chelsea did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering, is she like, because I was quite nervous because I'm like, oh, she can be.
She's awesome.
Yeah, but she had really kind eyes. I told Mel she had really kind eyes. But she also said, this was off air, how last time she was out, which
Yeah.
is maybe when you
Probably.
did she do a TV show and she was waiting for Rihanna?
Yeah, I think so.
And she said that Rihanna was so late to the show, 48 hours late.
What?
Yes.
2 days.
Yes, to the tape. And we're
Was
like,
she just sitting there for 2 days?
I know, yeah.
waiting for it?
On the couch, just sitting waiting.
yes. And
my
they just had to
God.
keep pushing it back because Rihanna was what they'd promoted. It was all about
I was going to say at some point, no, you just pull Rihanna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's like, no. And we're like, was she great? And she was like, she was fine. I don't even remember it. But I was like, and she's like, in what world can you be 48 hours late? She's just apparently renowned for being late.
Yeah, well, looks like Madonna. You know when Madonna was in Melbourne, she was getting on stage like midnight.
That's
on like a
arrogant.
Wednesday night.
She cannot do that anymore. I don't care.
No.
No, Madonna can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I've said this and I'll say it again, I would not cross the street to see Madonna anymore.
I would.
No.
I still would.
Yeah, I mean, I must say I saw her at Eurovision and it was not great. She was a
Really?
halftime entertainment at Eurovision. And having seen all these different countries act singing live,
Yes.
and then Madonna came on at the end, it was a real downer.
I
bet it
feel
would have
like
been.
there's like a quota of how many years your voice can be really good
Yeah.
for until, I know this is so bogan, right? But I love all the sort of 80s hard rock stuff. So
Yeah.
my husband took my little son to Bon Jovi, right? And he was saying he's just lost it. He doesn't even go for the high notes anymore.
Wow.
I think once you get to a certain point
Yeah.
and you've been singing for so long, it's just...
Although I was
it.
watching Celine Dion the other day, I'm like, how is she
no,
still pumping it out?
she's-
Remember like about even 5 years ago to love Celine Dion wasn't cool. Now if you
Yes.
don't
Now
love
it's
Celine
the coolest
Yeah.
thing ever.
Oh my God. I saw Bon Jovi at Rumba. Remember Rumba?
Oh my God, Rumba. Wasn't Pink on Rumba as well? Yes, and Sugar
Yes.
Babes. I went. I took the day off school.
I went too.
Yeah.
And my job, because I used to work on the Black Thunders at Fox FM, which was like driving the promotional
I
vehicles.
was a Casanova
Were you at,
at
Nova?
Nova. Yeah, so she did the same job.
Okay.
I
So
was a nobody.
Oh, trust me, I was a nobody. I was handing out ice cold cans of Coke on the side of the
Same.
street. I was a nobody.
So in one of my first few weeks at the job, Rumba was happening and they're like, you're going to get to look after Pink. You've got to take Pink from her dressing room to the stage.
And this was when she was
Wow.
P exclamation mark NK.
Oh,
Yes.
she was amazing.
Yeah.
And I loved her so much. Alicia Moore, like such a huge fan.
I love it.
And
Don't say
then
she was a bitch.
No, and then on the day I arrived there, they're like, "Oh, we're going to swap your job. You're in the cloakroom." So I literally couldn't see anything.
Oh,
I was
no.
up the back taking people's coats.
Oh no.
It was so depressing. I did see Bon Jovi play there as well.
Shit.
No, they're all right.
I interviewed Pink many years ago, and I remember we were, this was back at a radio station in Perth, and we're waiting for her to arrive, and she came on her own to the breakfast show.
Yeah, right.
No minders. This is when she was doing like 10 sold-out shows in Perth, arena
Really?
shows. Came on her own, so cool, in like track pants and a beanie, and we're like, do you want us to get you a coffee? And she's like, no, there's a cafe across the road, I'll pop over after. And we're like, no, it's like 8 a.m. It's like the busiest time at the cafe. You can't just go over there and get a coffee. And she's like, no, I can look after myself. I'm totally fine. So cool. Did the interview, was lovely. We said, is there anything we like? She had no publicist. So we're like, is there anything, you don't really want to discuss? She's like, ask anything. I can handle whatever. She was like, I'll find a way out of it if I don't want to answer it.
I love it.
Awesome. And then she finished the interview. She's like, thanks, guys. She was lovely. Took photos with everyone. Then we watched her walk across the road, queue up for a coffee, stand in line.
Oh my God.
And no one really because she was sort of dressed very casually. No one really noticed. Happily stood there, paid for a coffee, and walked off back to a hotel.
Wow.
What a legend.
Amazing.
What a legend.
Yeah.
I
So
love
amazing.
So her husband came out with her during that tour. And we didn't interview Pink. I was working on Nova at this time too. We didn't interview Pink, but we interviewed Carrie. Her husband.
Carrie, the motocross or whatever. Yeah.
And he loves Victoria Bitter. So we decked out the whole studio in like VB merch.
Yeah.
And
Hilarious.
I worked with Ryan Shelton, who would come up with names for things, and then we'd think of what it was going. He'd go, "This is a great name," and then we'd do it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Instead of figuring out
work
what the
backwards.
idea was. Yes. So his thing was Carrie Hart in the hairy cart. And we got a wheelbarrow and put all wigs around it and then rode Carrie Hart around the radio station in...
Did he think that was funny?
How
Did you get
fucked up
into
is that?
it?
That
How
is so funny.
You know when you look... No, he was kind of into it because we raced. So
Yeah.
he... but we made him sit
Yeah.
in a wheelbarrow full of wigs, like Pink's husband.
Oh, my gosh.
Carrie Hart in the hairy cart.
There's another fine man.
I've done so many when I've been into radio stations, like lots of Joel gets greasy and stuff like that. And so they've had me I've been on so many slippery slides. I've been on more slippery slides than I can name.
Really?
8 a.m. You're all dressed up, and then you get there, and the breakfast producer's like, hey,
We're going to cover you in baby oil.
we're gonna cover you in oil, and you're gonna slide along a tarpaulin, and are you cool with that? And me being me, I'm like, yeah, right.
You just have to go
on.
with it,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah, you
It's so much
do.
easier to go with it.
Good.
I know, because if you don't want to do it, then you're a diva.
Then you're a diva.
Yeah.
I know someone's put in effort somewhere. Someone's gone out to buy a tarp and baby oil. Or they've kept it from the weekend.
Hey, I want to know more about opening for Chelsea Handler. What goss have you got?
What
Who else
goss?
have you opened for besides Joan Rivers?
Well,
Which is amazing.
I've opened for Amy Schumer. I've opened for...
Okay.
That was in New York. She was lovely. She was really
I
nice.
interviewed Amy Schumer on the couch, as I have you.
Yes.
So if you want to check out Joel, we sat down and had a big chat. It's show+tell.online.com.au. You were the first man to ever do
That's
our
right. It was fun.
I did do Amy Schumer, and she was here for what movie was it? Trainwreck.
Trainwreck, yeah.
And she was so unbelievably hard to interview for most people. And then I went and I walked away going, that was so hard. But I realised after it I had one of the best ones.
Yeah, because
I think
I did. That didn't come off.
I remember
Working
walking
hard
away and
didn't
our
come off for
producer
that.
book was there. I was like, that was like pulling teeth because she just had enough.
Yeah.
She was hating us
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
But she wasn't like that when you met her?
She was okay. Well, I met her in a very comedy club environment. So she was, so she was in a good mood because she loves doing stand-up. I think I was smashed as well.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Yeah, it was in New York. It was very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I toured with Joan. I toured with Joan for ages. That was who I was opening for a long time. She was incredible. I worked with her the night before she went into the coma, which is very sad. Which is crazy because people, a lot of people were contacting me. A lot of Australian media outlets were contacting me, and I didn't know what to do because I'd seen her the night before, hours before, and she couldn't have been healthier.
Yeah, right.
And to the point that I actually remember standing at the back of the theatre and turning to my manager at the time and saying, I've never seen her so fit. She's feeling really fit tonight. And in a weird way, I feel like I jinxed it because then the next day I found out she'd gone into a coma, and then 2 weeks later,
to her?
she was having a vocal operation on her vocal cords. It was meant to be a minor procedure because she was meant to be filming Fashion Police the following night in LA.
Right.
So it wasn't like plastic surgery like a lot of people thought it was going to be. Also, she would have told us.
Yeah, exactly.
She was pretty cool with it.
Yeah.
She was amazing. Every night, I've worked with some real divas. Mostly, they're normally musicians, and I've seen crazy rider requests, and it's like you're not going to touch that. Every night, no matter where she was onto a Joan Rivers, all she would have is a prawn cocktail and a glass of house red.
Oh.
Isn't that so rock and roll?
80s.
So 80s.
I just am picturing the like a martini glass,
Yeah.
kind of with the prawns hanging off the side.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
The lettuce.
She'd dunk a little prawn. She'd be like, tell me about Kate Blanchett, you mole. That's what we talk like backstage.
Do you know what I wonder? Someone like Joan, how she would have, because how long ago did she pass away?
It was about 5 years ago now.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
4 or
feel
5
like
years ago.
things have changed a lot since then in comedy.
Yes.
And that's something I wanted to ask you too. Do you feel like you're really mindful what you can and can't say? You know, this whole, I don't want to say things are too PC because then I sound like a redneck.
Yes,
but do you know what I mean? Like
absolutely
some
know what you
things
mean.
are off limits.
Yes.
And I just recently watched Dave Chappelle's.
I loved
Yeah.
that so much.
I
That made
loved
us- My partner Sam and I had this conversation too, because he's like, if we start putting boundaries on comedy, where do we end up? And I'm like, yeah, but that's fine for us because we haven't had any of those things happen to us.
Yeah.
No, I know. And I was laughing and I was saying, oh, God, I shouldn't be laughing at this. But it
Yeah.
was so fucking funny.
So funny.
Well, I always approach it because I only ever talk about my life experiences. So everything I'm coming for I'm talking about is coming from a place of truth and something I've experienced. So and also I'm a very big believer, much like Joan Rivers, in that I'm not bright enough to tackle these big topics. I know what I'm good at, and that is talking about gossip and scandal and all things naughty, but never anything too deep. So if you come to I always say, if you come to one of my shows, you're not going to learn anything. You'll probably leave dumber, but gosh, you're going to have a good time.
Oh, see, that's
what you
you're just
want.
like a reality show on
Yes.
stage, which
Yeah.
is just my heaven.
Yeah.
There's too
I
much
know.
heavy shit going on. Here's my thing too, though. I said is I reckon that there's a line like if you're a real amateur comedian trying to do
Yes.
the shit Chappelle was doing.
Oh, no.
That's when it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's like you've got to have some cred behind you before you can start pulling
Yeah,
off
definitely.
those kind
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah.
That was funny.
But if
though.
you want to go and see like, you know, a more thoughtful stand-up show, I'm like, go to it. Just I'm not your person. There's much more intellectual comedians than me that you can go and find. They do a great
Yes.
job at it. I'm just not that person.
No, I won't be going to their shows. Have you ever really just got up on stage and fucked it? I don't reckon you would have. I reckon no matter what, I reckon people when they come to your show know.
I think
like
so
Mel's
too.
mum and like me.
Yeah.
I've said to you,
Yeah.
don't ever do any of your material on me because I am like,
yeah, you're a great laugher.
I just can't
a
stop
great laugh.
laughing at
She's
you
a
though,
great
Joel.
laugh.
There's not many people I find
thanks.
hugely funny though. So if I do find you funny, at least
Oh,
you know
thank
it's
you.
authentic. But with you, I'm like, like you walked into the studio before, you're like, what are you laughing at? I'm like,
Oh, is that what you were
yes.
No, I haven't had like a terrible solo show, but I've had so many terrible stand-up gigs. I've had bricks thrown at me. I've been booed off stage. Yeah, but that's in like comedy club gigs when I was younger, doing open mic comedy, and yes, bricks. Miss me. But it's part and parcel of stand-up, and you
Do
just
you
sort of
think?
yeah, I think so.
Hey, have you met Corey White? I just finished his
Yes,
book.
he's very funny. I've worked with him a few times. I don't know him well, but he's really funny.
Oh my God, you've got to read his book. So Corey White, and it's called The Prettiest, or is it the
Horse in the glue
Prettiest
factory.
Horse in the Glue Factory?
Yeah.
And it's all about like his like drug addiction.
Yeah.
He's like moved through the foster care
Is he a
system.
comedian
He's a
also?
comedian.
Yeah, he's a really
Is
great
he?
comedian. Yeah.
His would be quite highbrow, I would think.
Yeah, totally. I do want to read that book.
Oh my God, it's such a great book. Next book I'm going to read is called 3 Women, which is apparently a Fanny Tingler.
Lisa Tadeo.
Oh.
No, well, you know what? I don't know because
I've never heard that term.
one of the stories is a young girl who was sort of seduced by her teacher, her high
Right.
school teacher.
Semi-hot.
And
Yeah.
No, but he
If it was age appropriate.
Yeah.
totally fucked her life.
Oh, okay. Well, not
Oh.
hot.
Yeah, but I
A
read.
PE teacher, was he?
What is it with PE teachers?
Oh my God. What about when your PE teacher would have to cover the maths class for you?
my
Remember when your
God.
maths teacher was off, so the
Yeah.
PE teacher would be in
Yep.
teaching maths class in shorts?
Can I tell you the most embarrassing story ever? When I was in about year 8, we had school swimming. No one wants to do school swimming,
don't.
especially if you're a girl,
Not in
right?
grade 8.
No, but listen, my mum had bought me these new bathers, and she's like, "You can wear these." They were 2-piece. I didn't look like this earlier. I was smaller, right?
Oh, please,
anyway,
gorgeous.
a little 2-piece. Anyway, got in the water. Get out. So the tops were orange. The
Oh my
bottoms
gosh.
were like neon yellow.
Oh,
They
wow.
were
Okay. Hard to
fucking
miss.
see-through, and you could see my pubes.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I died. I looked down and I was like, oh my God. And I'm Italian, so I had quite the muff on me.
Shit, that's so
Oh my
good.
God. Oh my God. And I was walking around like this.
Oh.
It was the worst.
Yeah, that's messed up. I did swimming once, right, at school carnival, and they blew the whistle, and I jumped in and did freestyle, smashed it, looked around, everyone was doing backstroke.
Oh, no.
That's worse than pubes almost. At that age, that was
That is a
social.
huge mistake to make.
It's a huge
That's
mistake.
hilarious.
huge. Because the thing is, you start in the water. We started in the water too, actually.
Yeah.
And I pushed off and then went into
Everyone's
freestyle.
like this.
Oh no! Freestyle so much quicker as well. So no wonder you are. I was the last boy in my year to get hair under my armpits.
Oh,
so
how old were you?
I was like grade 12.
What? Really?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm like a greyhound, and but I was so embarrassed because that's so uncool. Now as a gay man, it's cool to get rid of it.
Yeah, totally.
I miss those days, but I was so embarrassed at the time. So I'd walk around the pool with my arms held tight by my side.
hair?
Yeah,
You're embarrassed.
because I wanted to be a bloke.
You want to be, what about on your peen?
Oh yeah, I was fine there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was fine there. But also, I didn't shave until about grade 12 as well, which is very late.
Right.
Yeah. A few times I've been asked to be like an ambassador for Movember. I'm like, I'd have to start in February. You need to get in touch earlier.
Here's something else I want to talk about. Is things you were scared of when you were a kid.
Yes.
Oh.
I was talking about this actually with Waleed the other day. Met him for the first time and I really enjoy him.
He's divine.
Anyway, I was saying something came up and I said, remember there was this stage where everyone was shit scared of quicksand? Of dying?
Yes.
That was from the Never Ending
quicksand.
Story.
Oh,
yes,
right.
Where the
Remember
horse
the
would get
horse got
sucked
stuck?
in
Yeah,
there.
because it was such a, everyone, it was a big, I've thought about it a lot. I haven't thought about it since.
Neither had I. It was it's like almost a generational thing. Like I don't think my kids are going to grow up ever being scared
Is
of
it
dying.
a thing?
from
Is quicksand an actual thing?
It is.
Yeah, where would I find
Yeah.
quicksand? Like in Australia?
I don't know, but I was talking around a man who did a thing with, is it Steve Jacobs, the weather guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
And they
yeah.
submerged him in quicksand for one of, I guess, the Today weather crosses. But they had to have like clips on him where they needed to basically use like what are those
Like a
things
crane,
called? Like
sort
a
of?
crane thing to pull him out of it because it's like cement.
Oh, it's awful, the thought of going that way.
Yeah,
Oh
isn't
my-
it
Oh,
fucked?
it's like I always think about this as well, scared of getting trapped under ice.
That's the worst. And you can see you're looking
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Oh
What
my
movie is
god.
that where they
and
slide
there's a
along
few.
under the
Yeah, there
ice?
are a
And
few.
there was actually my sister was the marketing manager for a campaign that was quite controversial in Western Australia. I think it was for Ambulance Australia or something, and it was an image of someone getting trapped under the ice. And it was
Yuck.
an ad, and there were a lot of
Yuck.
complaints just because it's just an intense ad to see. Watching the news at 6 o'clock.
I forgot about that. Is there any other things that you were freaked out as a kid? I was scared of so many things as a kid.
Oh, I'm scared. I still am. I'm like
too.
terrified of being home on my own.
Oh,
yeah.
Mel is afraid at the moment. Are you really afraid?
Yeah, I am. But I get lots of threats as well.
Do you?
Yeah. But
Do you really?
oh my God, so many. Yeah, I get people finding out where I live and
No, you
in my old
don't.
place I had someone,
It's probably my mum.
Yeah. It was Sandra. I should have answered the door. Yeah.
Should have made you a
Really?
pasta.
That's so fucked up.
But
That
my
makes
other
me
issue is
so
like I
angry.
have had some crazy stalkers, but then at the same time I've then gone and monetized and done stand up about it. So it's
you
just
reckon
really
it's
and
so.
attractive?
you think it encourages
Yeah, I
people?
think so. I think it has. But if I see a funny story in front of me, I can't not
Of course, why not? Why
talk about
wouldn't
it.
you?
Yeah. Because funny always comes first in my life, and then
Totally.
my own safety is number two.
I can't believe you get that many threats and stuff. I just guess it's just so
People are
strange.
People are
People are
nuts, but-
so crazy.
It's also really sad because imagine that was you actually, even if you really hated somebody.
Yeah.
Imagine you even put any of your energy
You
into
could
it
be
like
bothered.
that.
Like, absolutely, people are allowed to find me, like, painfully unfunny. That's totally allowed because stand-up and comedy is subjective. And there's comics that I don't find remotely funny, but I know other people love. So you're allowed to, like, not stand me. But it's when you, like, send me a death threat, that's like, oh, too far.
So, what do you have to take them to the police and stuff? Or
Yeah,
do you just-
sometimes we have in the past, yeah.
Far out.
But there's so little they can do as well. So, because it's this whole new world online that, that we're all trying to work out, even the police. So,
God, Joel legitimately has. Mel listens to true crime podcasts.
Yeah.
That's why she doesn't want to stay home by herself.
Let me tell you, my husband took the kids camping this past weekend.
camping, another fear. Yeah.
Yeah, never. It's in the middle of nowhere.
No,
And I'm like, he's like, like, how fucked is this? He goes, you couldn't believe how many stars you see in the sky.
It's true.
And I'm like,
Go to the
I
Logies.
don't want to see that because in my head, I would be like, all I would imagine is aliens are going to come and get you.
100%. Like, seeing in
Joking.
Spice World. Yeah.
100%.
Oh, you do not
Anyway.
believe. That's so ridiculous.
You don't believe there is some sort
I
of...
do not believe there's extraterrestrial creatures out
So
there.
you reckon there are people on Earth or inhabitants on Earth and the other Do you think there's just nothing on the other
No,
planets?
I don't think possibly there is anything because there's
100%.
people that have gone to nearly all of them.
Well, not in this
No.
solar system, but I totally think there will be.
Of
surely
course.
in another
And they're
solar
probably
system.
sitting there talking.
Talking about.
They're sitting there talking like us. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if there's anything on Earth.
Yeah,
I wonder. I
they're on there.
just don't reckon.
But anyway, so I was home on my own and I was upstairs. I didn't go to sleep until 6 o'clock in the morning.
Are you
When the sun comes up,
joking?
done
I'm
it.
terrified. There's something about being
Yeah.
upstairs that I felt couldn't get comfortable on the couch. I went upstairs in our bed and I was like, if someone like saw that he'd left and then I'm here by myself and came, it's too many true crime podcasts.
Yes.
I felt like, what would I do?
I love
Well,
that.
you
And
get
right.
trapped, and you get trapped. And what do they call it? What do they call it? Not rotating thoughts. There's a psychological term for it where you just sort of, you're trapped in a negative
Yes.
rut, and you know it's
Yep.
it's so silly, but you can't get out of that
Get out of
loop
it.
in your head for that
Yeah.
night or whatever, or
Well,
however
that's
many hours.
anxiety, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is anxiety.
That's where I live.
Yeah.
I live there.
That's my street.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's let you get out of here, Joel. God, I love having you here, though. I just
know,
want to
it
talk
was
to you
Really
for
fun.
another
Thank you
day.
so much.
Okay, so let's talk about what's coming up. You're
Yes.
doing something for Halloween, which is brilliant.
I'm hosting Hello Queen,
Yes.
which is the big, fabulous Halloween ball at the Forum. It's presented by Poof Doof. I'm hosting it with Karen from Finance, who's one of the best drag queens in Australia.
I love it.
If not the world. Sneaky sound system performing. And it's going to be one of those proper American-style Halloween balls. So you can come as...
Love Halloween.
I love
Me
I
Halloween.
hate
too.
people that poo-poo Halloween.
Yes,
It's
same.
Same. It's
fun.
like hating someone online. It's like, why does it bother you? And they go, it's American. It's
I
like, so is every
know.
TV show we watch, every fast food
Yes.
product we consume. So
Yes.
don't pick and choose.
Hey, I heard that Santa was made up by Coke.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Have you heard that? Like Coca-Cola?
Oh, right. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
what you're referring to. I thought someone was just having a
All
big night
that
out and they
snow.
came up with Santa.
Yeah, apparently he was made up to sell Coca-Cola.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Like
That's like
whenever.
Valentine's Day and Hallmark.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went, yeah.
I love it. I love a day. I love Halloween. I love Valentine's Day. I love Christmas because I love throwing parties. And
Yes.
so, yeah, any excuse.
Didn't you just throw a party for your
Yes.
mother-in-law?
Oh my God, I did, yeah, for Glenda, Jack's mum. It was just an excuse to throw a big dinner party because she'd flown over from New Zealand. It was really fun.
Did you cook everything?
No, catering.
God.
Are you into cooking?
Love cooking.
Really?
Yes.
What's
Yeah.
your thing?
Anything. I'm a really good cook and I'm allowed to say that because I have no other skills.
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
do
apart
comedy and I
from
can
being a
cook.
fucking world famous.
Oh, but I cannot do anything else. Like, I was late here today because I couldn't find a parking spot because a few of them had to be reverse paralleled.
My husband drove me in.
Oh my God! Honestly, it's actually parking around here is very painful. but then
it's the pits.
I can't reverse parallel to save my life.
Really?
Yeah.
How were
Yeah,
you a
it's worse.
Casanova then? That was your job to drive cars.
I never did. I never
Did you
reversed
just go in the
parallel.
seat?
One
I
of
used
the
to
girls had to do it.
pretend- I used to pretend I had a headache every shift so I wouldn't have to drive. I could go in with the other person.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
When I started as a Casanova, I was actually on my P's and I wasn't allowed to drive. Yeah, the other staff loved me.
Oh, God. That's so good. Also, should we plug this charity
Oh yes,
thing?
I'm an ambassador for Nottober. Hashtag Nottober. No, that is the
Nottober.
So Nottober.
love
N-O-T Tober. Nottober. So what it is there are so many charities. There was some statistic like the 96 million different times you could be asked in a year. There's different like via Facebook and every different single platform and every time you walk down the street you could be asked 96 million times a year potentially. Not that anyone's going to be going to seek it all out to get involved in different charities.
Yeah.
By different
Yeah,
people
that
hitting you
doesn't
up, different friends
surprise me,
hitting you up.
actually.
And so what this is really simplifying it. This is a win-win situation. All you have to do is upload a photo of yourself enjoying some time off, having a little mental health break, watching some telly, eating some food, hashtag Nottober, and AHM are donating $10 to the Banksia Foundation for mental health.
And
For
they're a
every
health
picture?
insurance,
For
aren't
every
they?
picture.
Mate, we
Wow.
could get some crackers out if you saw me on the couch in my
Yes.
like elasticized tracksuit pants, like ice cream dribbling down my chin, just binging on shit. Oh my god!
Because it also often social media that really triggers my anxiety and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get triggered by Instagram and stuff, though. I think it's because of who you follow. And I'm
Yeah.
often like, well, I feel like I need to follow all these people, but they're
Yes.
not giving me any good substance
No.
in my life at
yeah,
all.
I follow far too many Bachelor eliminees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
things like that. And then if I'm feeling gross and I look at just even their body, I'm like, oh, fuck it, you
I
fat
know.
mess.
Yes. And they're always eating at cafes down in like South Yarra that they're not paying for.
I know.
And it's like, oh God, can you not afford a corn fritter? It's $18.
I know.
You know?
That's
Yeah.
confidence.
Place
quite
some more
expensive.
value in your but place some more value in your social media. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
true. I agree.
And also, you're doing the project on Fridays for pretty much maybe the rest of the year. 'Cause
Hanging out on the
Pete is
project a
off.
lot.
He's filming a new show.
He is so busy.
I am like not a busy person, I realised, and I love not being a busy person.
I know. Yeah, same. He does he directs and he writes and he's so.
I just don't have the
so
ambition.
talented.
I'm like, oh wow, when people out their days are so busy, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And I love.
Yeah.
Not like after this, I'm going home.
You know what I love? A cancelled plan.
Oh! Is it if somebody messages you saying they can't do something, it's just like winning the
I'm
lottery.
the easiest person in the world to cancel on.
Oh, yeah.
Unless I'm already there. Cancel me in the morning. Honestly, happy.
How good is it when you see that text and it starts with sorry? And you're like,
You're like, yes, because I was thinking on how I was going to cancel on you.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Best.
You can follow Joel on his socials. Is it just Joel Creasey?
It's Joel Creasey. I think that's on all platforms. Yeah,
Yes.
I've got them all.
Great. And follow us on Show and Tell online. Also, can you write a comment in our podcast
review.
feed? A review.
Yep.
We do read them all.
Oh, I will. I'll
Helps.
go and write one.
You will not.
Yeah, I will.
All right, now I'll watch for
Oh God,
it.
now I have
I'm going to be refreshing
now I've
every
got to work
5
out how to
minutes.
cancel
Did
that.
Joel?
Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. Bye, Joel.
Thanks,
Bye.
legends.
Bye.